friend of mine and his wife got married about 2 years ago, and they took the honeymoon trip to India. They wanted to go to India. And when he got back, he told me this incredible story. He said when they got there, they decided to go to the slum area in India, wherever that is. They wanted to go to this slum area. And in this area, there was this market square. And all the people there would sell goods in order to feed their family. That's why they were there. So as soon as tourists walked up, they would try to sell you something because that was the only way they could feed their family. And he said he and his wife were walking up behind this old woman who was sitting down, and there was this huge canvas in front of her, and right next to her was a bag of yarn. And he said they watched her for like an hour and a half, and she would take the yarn and she would start knitting something for like an hour and a half. In 2 hours, this is all she did, was take some yarn, just back and forth, focused. He said in about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, she finished. And he looked at it and said, "This is a hot mess. This sister done wasted 2 of my hours putting together absolute garbage." He said he was ready to slap her in the back of her head. But, you know, his heart began to change, and he said he understands that she's doing this to feed her family. So he taps on her shoulder and says, "Hey, sis, how much you want for that?" She didn't even know they were behind her. She turned around, and she said, "Oh, this would be 2,000 American dollars. You tripping. $2,000 for this? Don't you know nobody would purchase this mess from you?" She looked back at my boy and smiled and said, "I'm sorry. You're looking at it from the wrong angle." And she turned the thing over, and he said he had never seen something so magnificent in his life. What he thought was a complete mess was actually a masterpiece. My boy said, not only did I pay her what she asked for, but I gave her an extra $500 just for teaching me that lesson. Well, there's some of us in here in the body of Christ that some folk are looking at you right now. They saying you ain't nothing but a hot mess. How in the world you going to church on Sunday? You was with me last night doing that garbage. You ain't got it together. You broke down, no job, no degree, no prospects. You need to look at them folks and say, "Oh, my brother, my sister, you looking at me from the wrong angle."